Once upon a time, a girl and a boy met at a mutual friend's party. From the moment their eyes met, there was an instant and undeniable spark. The girl felt a rush of excitement every time she thought about the boy. He seemed perfectly charming, attentive, and always saying the right things. They spent hours talking about their dreams and passions, and the girl felt that she's found her soulmate. In those early days, the girl was infatuated with the boy. She admired him immensely, often overlooking the flaws that he might have had. The boy felt the same way about the girl. They were caught up in a whirlwind of romance, spending every moment together. The intensity of their connection made every day seem magical. However, as weeks turned into months, the initial excitement began to fade. The girl started noticing things about the boy that she had not noticed before. He could be stubborn and had habits that irritated her. Likewise, the boy realized that the girl wasn't always easygoing and as she appeared. They began to have disagreement and face the reality of each other's imperfections. But isn't that a very common story? I think we've all been through it. We get caught up in that initial charm of a person or a thing or a situation, and then later realize that it was not meant to be. Welcome back to Tanvision Podcast Understanding Mind and Purpose. I am your host Tanvi, and I'm thrilled to kick off season 2 with a topic that touches us deeply: understanding love and infatuation. This season we'll be diving deeper into what makes us human, exploring our emotions and discovering how we can live more fulfilling lives by aligning ourselves with the highest values. Today, we'll unravel the true meaning of infatuations and discuss how, by practicing our values, we understand ourselves and our relationships better. We'll explore these ideas with my co-host, human behavior specialist, Mr. Ahmed Fadil. Welcome, Mr. Ahmed.
Thank you very much, Tanvi. I'm so happy to be around you and to share these things with you and the audience.
Thank you so much. So before we begin, I would like you to just do a little bit housekeeping because it's been a long break that we were on a hiatus. I would like you to please go and tell us what VMG is exactly.
Right. When we say VMG, the V it stands for the value, human highest value, the number one value.
Okay.
And the M stand for the mind. And what is the mind and how we can operate and control our mind. Mm-hmm. And the the G is the goal. And that's each human being have to have a goal. And that goal is related to the value. So when we have value, mind, and goal, we are creating this combination to create a shift into the human to how they achieve their purpose in life.
Thank you very much for this and revisiting this one because our podcast is based on VMG. Each episode that we'll dive in is about how we can align or create balance by understanding our human highest value. That is our purpose, and how we can understand each situation. So this season, we'll be, talking a little bit more about the human relationships. We'll be talking about careers, for example, and even we'll be discussing a little bit about anxiety and depression with real life stories. So let's get into this episode. To begin, let's define what we mean by infatuation. Infatuation is often an intense or a short-lived passion or admiration for someone or something. It is those butterflies in the stomach, the excitement of the newness. However, infatuation can be fleeting and often lacks depth. On the other hand, love is more profound, enduring, and it has a more enduring connection, and it grows over time. It is built on mutual respect, understanding, and shared values. Dr. John DeMartini explains that infatuation is an illusion where we often project our fantasies on the other person, idealizing them. Love, according to Dr. DeMartini, is embracing both positive and negative traits of a person, seeing them for who they truly are and choosing to be with them. Do you want to elaborate on that?
That's a beautiful reading because majority of the human facing, let me say, challenge to understand how they can love something, okay, and what's the real love look like, you
Yeah.
know. But unfortunately, majority of them, they don't distinguish, they cannot make difference between infatuation and love. So that's exactly what Dr. John DeMartini mentioned, that infatuation is one side. Like, and usually that the person will go and see only the positive side of it, and will be blind to other side, which is the negative side of it. And that's itself, it's illusion. There is nothing in life only negative and only positive. If you are only negative, it means you are blind side of the positive side of it. And if you are on positive side, you are blind of the negative side of it. So infatuation, basically, you are attracted by somebody that you see the positive side of it, and you say, wow, that's what I love. We are look-alike and we match and these things. However, the other side of it, you don't see it. You're blind of it. And when you discover the other side, there's where you say, oh my God, I didn't expect it that way. And this is completely different than what I expected.
Very interestingly that you put this, because even Shakespeare touched this in one of his plays, The Twelfth Night. He had this infatuation and love. He touched base on that. One of my favorite quotes of the play is, "If music be the food of love, play on." It beautifully captures the intensity of emotions that both love and infatuation can stir. But as the play progresses, it becomes clear that infatuation can lead to confusion, heartache, while true love endures. It is also important to note that love and infatuation we are talking about here is not only applied to a relationship. It can be on any sort of relationship. It's not only a romantic
That's
relationship
right.
that we're talking about, whether it can be friendship, it can be family relationships, or even professional connections.
Correct.
Understanding these concepts can help us navigate the interactions that we build, and we build more meaningful relationships. You told us what infatuation and love is. Can you elaborate on the balance? What is balance?
Right. When we say balance, it's mean there is two sides of it.
Yes.
Okay, balance, there is negative and positive. So majority of people who try to be positive, they don't understand that I should really, or a part of my accepting or reaching to be positive, I need to be balanced and accepting the negative side of it. So it's not only the positive side, the negative side of it. Balance, it just means that I am aware of the negative side, and the negative side, it's the motive to be in high level of accepting these things, because that things I understand that each human have the both side of it. When I reach that, accepting that, obviously I'll be balanced, and my result of being balanced, it will be a positive side. I will be positive. So balance, it's mean pure.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes in the tennis they say 15 love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Very interesting.
So 15 love. What mean 15 0 or 15 love? What's the difference between 0 and love? And that's why we said, what is the 0? Is it negative or positive?
Yeah.
It's pure, okay, and it's balance, okay. And that's many people, they don't really go deep and understanding that, if you keep the 0 left, negative, if you keep it right, is a positive, but 0 actually it is pure, and love, it's pure.
So love is balance.
It's balanced, it's pure, it is spirit. Okay, so when you are in love with something, it's not I am choosing the positive side of it, I want to enjoy the positive side of it, and I have to fight and ignore and I hate the negative side of it. That's not love, that's infatuations. And usually people who is meeting somebody on a relationship or meeting anything, they only will be attracted by the positive side of it.
Yeah.
All of us, we will love the positive side, but we don't understand that side of positive, there is a negative in it. In here, that will be blind in it. So balance, when you are observing and it's a clear vision that you are accepting the both side, and when you see the negative, accepting the negative and the positive, of course, you would love to have that. That's balance.
But when you speak with anybody, what kind of a person you want to be, or what kind of a person you want to be with, they will always say, I want a positive person, or I want to be a positive person,
Right.
or I want to be working in a positive environment. So how do you think that this positive can be converted into balance?
First of all, anybody who say, I want to be in a positive, or I want to be positive, the question to ask, where are you right now?
Correct.
Are you positive? And if you are positive, that's it. But the thing, or the majority of people who want to be positive, they are in negative. They want to be in positive. And because they are refusing the stress, where we call it a negative, and the situation that's negative, and they don't want to be in that environment, obviously they want to be positive, right?
Correct.
So now, when they want to be a balance, they have to make sure that life, there is both sides in it. And the relationship and the situation, there is two sides of it.
Yeah.
The negative side, if it is not too close to who you are and what you would love to do, and it's not connected with your value, obviously you will hate it.
Yeah.
And it will create stress for you. And that's why he said, oh, I want to be in that area, but I want the positive side of it only.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the negative side. And that's not unbalanced. I mean,
yeah,
and
that's not
the
imbalance.
frustrations.
Correct.
It's not understanding what what do I want?
In season 1, we discussed in depth about our paradigms. Our paradigms are essentially the mental frameworks that shape our perceptions, thoughts, and behaviors. These paradigms are deeply rooted in our subconscious mind and often formed by early experiences and social conditioning. Now, as Bob Proctor, a pioneer in personal development, often said, when you know what you want and you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to get it. Today, we are using VMG to understand what we truly want in love and how to authentically achieve it. Ahmed, I would like to ask you, let's begin with value. How does understanding our value or life's purpose can change our view on love and infatuation?
Right. As a human, we live in the hierarchies of value. And in fact, we are searching for the value number one. Okay, and that's our purpose in life. And that's where we want to be, or where we want to use the maximum knowledge and understanding, and utilizing all our knowledge and life in that purpose. So now, if we don't know what is what's our highest value, obviously we live in a stress, because we are searching, and we will never gonna be satisfied with other people's values. So there is other values, but if it's not my highest value number one, I will live in a stress. So the highest value will create or put you in a situation that you are balanced. Why? Because when you discover your highest value, it's not something just easy. It's tough. It's hard, and that's why people, if you are not working with your highest value, because it's hard, because it's tough, that's negative. But if it's your highest value, the negative itself, it will be the motive for you to move forward, because you love what you do, and this practicing of that value, even though there is a pain, but for you, it's like a pleasure. You will accept it. And that's the secret, how to accept the negative, because nobody will accept negative. Nobody. And if you accept negative, it means you are sacrificing. But if it is within your value, you will accept negative. In fact, you love the negative. Even if you ask somebody about their value and you go to their challenge and you ask them, is negative? They say, no, it's not negative. It's very good. So accepting the negative, which is the challenge, in the value, will move you to be balanced in life, happy, then the result of what you do will give you obviously the positive result. And that's when you look at the love, if you accept the person, both sides, the negative and the positive side of it, you will see life is balanced.
Can someone be infatuated by their value?
No. Because you see, when you are doing your value, the spark of what you're doing is the pain.
Okay.
The pain of what you want to achieve. So if to keep you going in your value, you're moving from the pain, not from the pleasure. You're moving from the challenge to achieve that goal. But if you are infatuated with let we say that you call it a value, you are only looking what the outcome of that value, and that's why you love it.
Okay.
The highest value, you're not looking at the outcome. You're looking at how can I achieve it? How can I enjoy the journey in that value? To be, let we say, to feel the happiness. To feel the happiness. Because every time you practice your value, you are in the happiness. And the reward or the result of your achieving that, it's the reward for you as a person that you achieved your goal. So a reward, not just happiness. There's a reward for your happiness and hard work.
So let's come back to a little bit on paradigm, because I touched base on paradigm, but I want to dig a little bit deeper. How can someone identify if this thing they are feeling for about somebody is based on infatuation and not like quote unquote love on first sight, like what they say, love at first sight, or it's actually infatuation? How can our subconscious mind create that kind of feeling for us?
You see, if the person who is, let we say, in love, okay, of that person, and we say they question themselves, am I in love or infatuations? Number one, they have to understand what they are doing in their life. They are doing their purpose. This is first of all. Then the other person, whatever he does, doesn't mean I have to be very happy with it. But I will be happy for what he's doing, accepting what he's doing. If I accept what he's doing for himself, not for me, so I'm accepting his, let me say, value or his interest. So majority of people, what's happened? They love the outcome of this person. They see the positive side of it. And when they become close to it, they will say, I don't want you to do that. I want you to stop that. Become like, I want to have you for me, not for somebody else. However, when they meet them, they attract them that positive side of it. So this is mean I'm escaping from pain. But if I'm doing what I love to do, and I see this person that he's doing what he loves, and I support for that, this means I will be matching his value, respecting his value. And for me, I will be happy because I'm doing my value. And this is where creating, let me say, a relationship between my company and his company, if you want to put it in a different way.
Yeah.
You know, me, I have my own identity and his identity. If I respect his identity and he respect my identity, that will help a lot to create or spark the real love.
You know, I've always kind of disliked the statement that he's my better half or she's my better half. I always felt that we are two individual people in this journey together. You know, it's not like you're my better half. I am full. I'm 100%. You know, so why will be my 50%
Right.
away?
Yes, I will comment on that as well. Absolutely, what you said is perfect and beautiful. Everybody should really recognize that each individual of us, that we are unique, we are individual, and we are really real identity. So we should really recognize that. It's not the other person who's my half, no. But if the other half, I cooperate with the other half, that helping that person with what he loves to do, and he helped me of what I want to do, so I'm cooperating with my identities. It's like added value for me. Because I have value, the highest value. However, I have lower value as well. Number 2, number 3, 4 value. And this is where I could even either delegate some time of my value to that person. So he will be happy doing lower value of mine. I will be more focused in my highest value. So I feel very happy because he helped or she helped me in that value. So you'll feel more balance as well. So harmony between our value. As the same as that person. He would love to do what or she love to do her highest value, but there is lower value if that person, she can help her in that or help him in that lower value. That'll be like cooperation. Make sense?
Yeah, it is very interesting. So, see, just to put it in a little bit easier terms and see if I'm understanding it. Basically, if I say that I don't enjoy cooking, for example,
right.
And my partner enjoys the cooking, maybe it's second or third on his hierarchy.
Correct.
So he takes the reign of creating dinner or meals.
That's right.
And I do the other part.
That's right.
Okay.
He'll be happy to cook.
Correct. Yeah.
And you will be happy doing lower value for you, but for that person could be higher as well. So I will cook for you and do video for me, for example.
Yes.
Makes sense? You'll be happy doing that.
Yeah.
Which one you will choose? Cooking or doing the video? Say, I'm doing the video. You ask the partner, would you love to do the video or cooking? Cooking. So that's harmony, no? When you finish doing that, you'll be, wow, happiness.
Can our childhood experiences play a certain role in shaping our love or infatuation relationships?
It will shape the infatuation, but not the love.
Okay.
The reason why, because as you mentioned, the paradigm, okay? The day we born up to now, that's our paradigm. Usually starting from family, mother, father, school, cousins, life, creating our identity, which is I call it usually false identity, because not who am I, but it's what my culture. And that's fine to keep me engaged with my culture, but
it's a conditioning that society has
correct.
put on. Yeah.
It's okay to live around that.
Yes,
Yes, it's okay, but if I don't know my highest value, this is a problem.
Okay.
So if I live in the culture, there'll be negative and positive situation happen to me in life. It could be mother, father. I can see my mother, for example, have a relationship with my dad, but they are not happy, for example. For me, if I will go and have a relationship with somebody, I will see my mom in that situation. If, for example, I see my dad, he's become bossy, for example, I see my new relationship with this person, I don't want him to be
bossy. Same like my dad.
Because the moment he become bossy, I say, oh my God, it's another dad here.
Yeah.
So this is will create a negative side. Doesn't mean he's like that, but everybody have the negative and positive side of it. So you don't want to be the negative side of that person, because that remind you of that. You want only to be the kind and happy, and this, because that's infatuation. That's your entertainment. So you're avoiding the negative and you see the positive. But very hard to see the new person, a new relationship, you see the negative. You see only the positive. He will be operating at the best states, and you will be operating and dealing with him or with her at the best state. So you will see the positive side of it. That's why you usually take some time to say, oh my God, I was in trouble because he's this person or she's this person. The negative side of it will raise.
So that is why when you are in a relationship, the first few weeks, as I said in the story beginning, it's like a rosy or honeymoon stage.
That is the honeymoon, yes.
Yeah, and then later on is the one when you start living or being with that person all the time. That's the time you realize it can apply to, as I said, about professional relationships, that if you get an offer for some company, and you feel that you like the offer, you go to see the company, oh, really nice people, it feels like it, my boss is really good, and the interview went very well, and I got a good offer, what I was expecting, and whatever questions I had, they answered me and all that. And I think I can see myself there because I'm infatuated with that.
That's it.
But the real situation comes in once you actually start working there.
Correct.
Yeah.
See, Imagine male or female, okay, going for dating the first
Yeah.
time. How long she will take in the makeup room?
Oh, at least
Okay.
at least an hour.
An
at least
hour.
yeah, minimum.
Perfume, deodorant.
Ah, yes, yes.
Okay. And after, say, let me say, they get the relationship, get married, and have kids, to get the makeup or to have a deodorant and the perfume, it doesn't
Might
really,
be a
it's not a
task.
big deal.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I will use it only when I want to go out and this one.
Yeah.
But if it is the first dating, you will be fully conscious about even the nail, cutting the nail, and
Yes.
mascara and the hair and all these kind of things. So this is where a person, when it comes to infatuation, he will be conscious only about his appearance, about his look, about the way how he eat, conscious about it. But the things after the relationship, he will go subconscious, and the negative side, you will see it. It will come out naturally because it will become subconscious, not conscious, not sense conscious. It will become subconscious. So you will see the negative side of it. The other person as well, when he first meet that person, he will be, if he's a male, he have a tie and this, and be quiet, and he will become early. But after that, he will come late and everything. So he becomes subconscious. So infatuation usually with the five sense consciousness, and after the period of knowing each other, you will turn, or your mind become a subconscious. So it's like you don't care about anything. This is whom I, whether you like it or not.
We spoke about understanding value. How does practicing one's highest value help in reshaping our paradigms and fostering healthier relationships?
Right, great questions. Majority of us, of people in general, as I said, they don't know their highest value. So they're living in a paradigm and programmed information, whether negative or positive, okay? So when the person understood and recognized his highest value, and operating his highest value consciously aware that this is what I love to do. So this is creating understanding for himself that what I'm doing is what I love to do. So imagine if you practice that, it becomes subconsciously you're doing your highest value now. Subconsciously, it means automatically you're doing your highest value. It's become your lifestyle. When you do your highest value, when you operate from highest value as a lifestyle, it means you are living in harmony from within. So it means your heart, your mind, your organs working beautifully. So your cell in harmony. When it become, your body as a whole, it means your health will be fantastic. Any kind of chronic diseases will be healed by understanding and knowing and doing your highest value consciously first, then after that subconsciously. So it means you are creating a paradigm shift in your behavior. So your old behavior will be changing to the new behavior consciously about your life and purpose, your life, of what you want to achieve in life.
You mentioned that if infatuation is basically conscious, correct? Is like derives from conscious mind?
Conscious from the positive side only.
Okay.
So when you are conscious, you are seeing only the positive side. You are subconscious from you are not aware of the negative side of it.
Because one of the things I was reading, it said that infatuation can be driven by subconscious desires or unmet needs from our past, causing us to idealize someone and project our fantasies onto them.
Correct. That's from your inside. But
Yes.
what you see,
Yes.
what you show, conscious. I mean, that's what I mentioned. Do you use the perfume conscious or subconscious? So you want to become everything's perfect, right?
Correct.
That's consciousness. But the driving from within, why you are infatuated with that person, why you want to be that person, because you are living in negative side and you see the positive side in the other person. So what you're missing, you see it in others, in the other party, the other person. So that's why you are, when you go and be with that person, you see the only positive side. You're conscious about the positive side, and unconscious of the negative side. That's why you are unbalanced. That's why there is no balance.
So basically, love requires us to break free from those subconscious patterns and see how the person who truly are. In a
So
way.
if you are conscious about his positive and negative, that's fantastic.
Many people say, oh, when you come to love, you are in a comfort zone. Now, coming back to the example that you said about makeup and taking care of yourself or deodorant or perfume or
Right.
something like that. I'm not saying that if a person who is in love should be so comfortable that you forget about all these things.
Right.
There has to be a conscious efforts to continue doing something.
Correct. And thus, you will do that when you're doing your highest value.
Yeah. So it's not a status quo. Love is not a comfort zone, correct?
No, absolutely not. Love, it is a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle, yes. In the same way, if you are in a relationship with somebody and you're blinded in your thinking and you're actually choosing to live in that fantasy, you are putting yourself in that subconscious zone. You don't want to break free from it. Why do we choose to stay in those fantasy over reality?
Because, see, when you are confused, when you don't know your highest value, your purpose in life, you're living in fantasy. We live in fantasy if we are not congruent with our highest value, if we don't live a life, understanding our purpose, we're living in fantasy. Because whatever we do, we were never going to be pleased, we were never going to be happy with it. So we're living in fantasy. But when you are knowing your purpose and doing your purpose, so you have strategy to achieve goals that in line with your highest value. So you're driven from within for purpose. Not fantasy, not illusions.
Can you give some practical steps for our listeners how they can start reshaping their paradigms to foster healthier relationships?
To create a paradigm shift, I will say, the most important, we have to watch out to our thoughts. What do we think of? What's our thoughts? Is it our thoughts that we call it positive, if we want to call it positive? In other way, am I in love of what I'm saying, what I'm talking about myself, about others, about life? If I say yes, I say keep going, doing that, because actually majority of us, if you ask them, they will talk about life is bad. People around us, they are not good. Majority, not all of us. And if you ask them about how do you think of yourself? Majority, I'm not happy or I'm okay. So any of the three areas, yourself, people around you, and life, anything it is not there, so you require a paradigm shift. You need to shift. So if you want to create a paradigm shift, watch out your thoughts, because your thoughts will create your feeling and emotion, and your emotion will create your behavior. So if you have the same thoughts of before, you will have the same feeling, same behavior, same emotion, same behavior, same result. But if you want to change that paradigm, change your thoughts to who you are related to your highest value, that will change your emotion, and that will change your behavior, and that will change your result.
Very interestingly put, because when somebody says who you are, we tend to say, my name is Tanvi, hi, how are you? So if they say, oh, who you are, we don't go beyond
Correct.
our names.
Yes, very interesting.
So we don't really realize who we are. It's a name given by our parents, and we tend to live our entire life trying to live up to the name given by our parents.
Correct.
But we don't see beyond who Tanvi Bhatia truly is, in a way.
I'll give you questions. Okay?
Yes, please.
You answer it, and hopefully the audience will get it in a deeper.
Yeah.
If I ask you, Tanvi, are you a human being or your spiritual being?
Now, I'm very biased in this. I would say I'm a spiritual person. I'll be a spiritual being.
Okay. But you are a human being as well, right?
I'm a human being as well, yes.
Okay. Let us put it together.
Okay.
You are a spiritual being experiencing the life in the human body. Make sense? Now, human body should serve your spirit, your soul, your identity, who you are. your purpose in life. That's your spirit. But your body being programmed from the childhood till now with the paradigm that it's not who you are, as you said, your name being called they gave you the name, they choose the school for you, they choose the uniform for you, they choose food for you from young age. So you've been programmed with food and everything.
Correct.
Okay? So you reach 15, 18, 20, your behavior become not your soul. Your other people needs, other people life. So we almost become like a slave of other people ideas. And we lose the real identity as who we are as a spirit. So your highest value is connecting with your spirit to your highest value. When you say highest value, it means your purpose in life. That's like your fingerprints. If you know it, then it means your body will serve you. You become your own slave. So your own tools to do whatever you want to do in life, listening to your soul and spirit. So this is where the secret that the human being, if he is recognizing his spirit, living and experiencing life in this humans, mean there is the driver and there's a car. So your body become like a car, and the driver is your spirit, okay? So if you are driving this car to the right or to the wrong side of it, and you smashing this body, it means the spirit's not driving, it's the self is driving. Self-driving, not the spirit. Because you have self and spirit as well, okay? So this is where
basically auto drive.
Auto drive based on your program.
Yes.
So
yes.
your body being driven by the paradigm thoughts and ideas, which is not your real identity. But when you're driven by your spirit, your car will be perfect. Will go into the right direction, right place, right destination.
But you say always that 95% of us are living in, autopilot. We don't come out of it.
Okay, it's autopilot's fantastic.
Yeah.
When the autopilot being operated by the highest value, it's fantastic. You don't have to think every day what you're doing, right?
Correct.
But the problem is if autopilot doing something you don't love, but you are operating the other people data information, and we think it's ours, but it's not our application.
Putting it into perspective of love and infatuation, basically it what you said makes a lot of sense. If as a person, if I understand myself, I understand my highest value, I understand and I practice my highest value, I break free from those, as I said, about the subconscious behaviors, and I see the person as a more wholesome person that I am. You know, when you are with someone and you are in that infatuation phase, okay, how can you make sure that, okay, the person you are with, and you start recognizing that you are infatuated with that person, and now it's slowly you start seeing the negative aspect of that person, but you feel that there is still hope for this thing to continue. Is it not that we're choosing to live in that fantasy, that maybe something will change, or we should that's it,
no expectation for the other person to change. This is where you accept the other person as it is from beginning. If you see only one side, it means that what you've seen, you accept in only the positive side of it. The negative you don't want to. And that's infatuations. But when you are actually believe that each human have negative and positive, each human, we lie and we are truth. Okay, all the negative and positive side, it's in us, and we personally we do it, but based on our value. Okay, if it is related to my value, I'm not gonna lie. But if it's outside my value, we lie. We lie. There is no human doesn't lie. The more you are away from your value, the more you will lie. The more you come close to your value, the more you'll be truth.
Correct.
If we accept ourselves, number one, and believe in ourselves, and we know our highest value, and we operate from our highest value, we should understand as well the other people have a value. And if we help them to focus, to understand what they do, it's their purpose and it's fantastic as a value. Automatically, any negative, I think they have it, it will be balanced because it is a normal for them. If they refuse to do something against the value, it's okay. They will be upset, they will be shouting. All of us with that. Do we shout or not?
We do.
You see? But we say, oh, shouting is wrong. Yes, but if it's come to your value, it's almost you are defending your identity, your spirit identity. And you're defending your existence. You know, your fingerprints. You will do everything. But this is the last, that we said, states that if you lost it. Otherwise, it's not an easy to tease or to stir up somebody with the value. If they know and they love it, they will laugh. They say, well, thank you very much. I love what I'm doing.
Correct. So we spoke about value. We spoke about our minds. Let's touch base on the goal part of VMG and see how by having personal goals or a clear vision contribute to more sustainable relationships.
When we walk and when we drive and when we run, always we want to achieve something. It have to be like time and space for it. We are here and we want to reach there. And how long we will reach, it's calculated. So this is what we call it the roadmap to achieve the goal. So if I have a value and my mind doing the value as a lifestyle for me, so it's mean doing that every day, enjoying doing that, I should ask myself, what do I want to achieve and how long do I take to achieve that goal? It requires the roadmap, which is the steps per day or per month or per year, what to do to reach and to achieve the big goal. So if I, for example, I say 10 years, I want to be, for example, I have my own big studio of, fitness, whatever things. I should work from now, baby steps they call it, and each month and each year I do this, that. I for example, I might hire a ballroom to do this exercise. Maybe I'll do an event. Maybe I invite speakers for that health and fitness. And within 5 to 10 years of this event, I will be able to create my own ballroom or my own studio. All this have to be written and practicing exactly the value that related to the big goal. So the small baby goal, we call it, it will take me to achieve the big goal. The G, it have to be written. Majority of us, we don't write the goal. We have it in the mind. Oh, I want to do this, but it's not being written. And the mind cannot understand illusions, things, you know. If you write something, you show him a picture and write it down, and they can see it, visualizations, you know, you require that. And you can achieve it, and that's the goal.
So in a relationship, if your goals are completely poles apart, if you are in love with someone, let's not talk about love, let's more concentrate on infatuation, because now we understand what love is exactly. If our goals, personalized goals, are completely poles apart, then we are not able to sustain the relationship, correct?
Not necessarily. If we understand it and we know it, we give the space.
Okay.
For example, I give you example. It's true story. There is medical doctor, who is Germany, and his highest value, it's basically discovering treatment, medicine, helping poor people in Africa how to be healed through crisis, through diseases. And sometimes he live 6, 7, 8 months Germany and work in
Africa.
In Africa, in a threatened environment, with their health and this. His wife, she's a writer, different. It's in the newspaper. Now, he is different value and she has different value, but she respect his value, give him the space, love, darling, do this, and that's great. She appreciating his value. At the same time, she write about politics, and he's supportive of her politics. So 6-8 months away, when they come back, you find them they are in the honeymoon.
Correct. That's so sweet.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there is not a problem at all. So as far as we respect each other in the value and give the space. Because if I want that person always with me, it's like a look and seal,
Yeah.
together all the time. It means I want to control that human and that spirit.
Yeah, it's kind of suffocating, actually.
Suffocating,
It is suffocating.
And that person will be sacrificing. And if they sacrifice, mean that's the whole marriage will be shaken up. Whether sooner or later.
I want to touch base on one thing about mind. There is a psychology of putting somebody on a pedestal, right? When you are infatuated with someone, you'll put them high up. And you tend to minimize yourself. Do you think this is associated with self-awareness?
Put it this way, I believe personally, it's like self-confidence.
Okay.
See, for example, when you are in the media, okay, that we said TV representative or a news reader, and suddenly you're in a big conference, and suddenly you see somebody from CNN, and that person is the best news reader, for example. What do you see? Do you meet that person as, minimizing or putting that person, he's the, wow, he is this, the feeling, you feel like you are nothing compared to that person.
Yeah, you do feel that, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What you should do, okay, respect that person, but you are amazing as well. And you engage with that. In fact, this is the opportunity to highlight your energy as well. Respect, highlight your energy. And this is where become, balance and showing your spirit and value. You might be recruited for scene because you are balanced. But if you are minimizing this, who are you? What are you doing? Oh, I'm a news reader. They don't want you that. They want you very powerful. Be who you are. So this is again, when you are minimizing yourself, this means you're dropping the level of your value. And this means that you only want to let the other person that
see your positives, not your negatives.
I'm this.
Okay. So basically, if you are in love, or if you are in love with something or someone, you first love yourself. You are more self-confident.
Yes.
And then you give full love to that person.
Yes. I just want to highlight something. People confuse when say you love yourself or ego, right?
Yes.
They say
Yeah, they
you
do.
have to be humble.
I love myself.
So there's difference between ego, and people think, I love myself as an ego, and love yourself as who you are. When somebody love themselves and ego, usually they are snob. Okay,
Yes.
you feel the toughness in it and unapproachable. They are lost. In fact, they are not loving themselves. They hate themselves, but they show it to you. They love themselves. Okay, but when you say love yourself, you will find the person who love themselves humbles, down to earth, listen to you. They put you as a goal, but they know themselves. They are very high. They know their confidence.
Yeah.
They are number one, but they are not minimizing themselves. They go down to earth with you. They want to lift you up with them. So that's
the love.
That's the
right?
love. Yes.
When you lift the other person.
Correct. When you love yourself and love others, that's love. When you love yourself, you don't love anybody. No, that's ego, and that's in fact the opposite direction.
So before we wrap up, Mr. Ahmed, do you have any final thoughts or advice for listeners on this topic?
I really want to say big thanks to anybody who listened to this. We're trying to put this as simple as it is. It is very deep, but to make it very simple, hopefully that we can have the exchange the idea of the value and the mind and the goal. Because when we say the value, the highest value, number one, and when we call it, this is the purpose of life, and anybody who listens to that and say, what's my purpose in life? Who am I? And if they recognize and understand the highest value, really ask. If they don't know, they ask. They can contact even you deeper. If they know, this is the first shift of understanding real life, happiness and health, and the real balance.
Wonderful advice, Mr. Ahmed. Thank you for sharing your insights. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey of understanding love and infatuation. Again, as Mr. Ahmed said, if you have any questions or if you'd like to understand this concept a little bit more, contact us, please. And we'll be happy to answer your questions on our next episode. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Tanvision_BH for more content and updates. If you found this episode helpful, share it with anyone who might benefit from it. Don't forget to rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify. Your support helps us to reach more people and continue bringing more valuable content. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll dive into another fascinating topic. Until next time, I'm your host Tanvi, and it has been the season 2 of Tanvision Podcast Understanding Mind and Purpose. Goodbye.
Goodbye.